Western red cedar is a naturally durable product, as I've said before, and it contains water-soluble extractives, sometimes called tannins. They are tobacco juice brown in color, and they're found in the heartwood of the species. They sometimes migrate to the surface in what can be called tannin bleed. They're brought to the surface by moisture. It's a natural occurrence. If you followed all of our recommendations regarding proper pre-finishing, then any tannin bleed that might occur is only going to occur one time. Tannins are relatively easily dealt with. You can wash them off with soap and water. Usually it will occur with siding where the pre-finished siding has been improperly stored on the job site. We recommend that siding and trim be stored on the job site, on top of a vapor barrier, on top of what we would call stickers, 2x4s or 4x4s, loosely covered with the paper wrap that the stuff was delivered in. We recommend that paper wrap be peaked to allow for air circulation, but if it's not properly stored on the job site, it can absorb moisture, even though it's a kiln-dried product, and when it gets on the wall, it then can lose the moisture, bringing the tannins to the surface. When it comes to solid body finishes, paints and solid stain for siding and trim boards, we recommend, if available, an alkyd oil stain blocking primer. It's a proven product. It's absorbed by the wood, and it creates a great base for the top coat of either solid stain or paint to adhere to. We recommend 100% acrylic latex top coats over an alkyd oil stain blocking primer. If you're in an area where alkyd oil stain blocking primers are not available, you still need a latex primer that contains stain blockers because of the water-soluble extractives, or the tannins that are in cedar. These stain blockers help keep them from migrating to the surface. One of the primary scenarios that we run into when we have failure of a film-forming finish like solid stain and paint over primer is improper surface preparation. And usually that's caused by the fact that the wood was not pre-primed on all 6 sides before it was installed. The other thing that can lead to coating failure is installing the wood raw, leaving it exposed to weather for 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 weeks, and then attempting to field apply primer and solid stain or primer and paint. You're going to have adhesion problems, and the adhesion problems will be greater the longer the raw siding is left exposed to sunlight and rainfall and dirt. Failure to prime the ends, the end cuts during installation. Even if you've done everything else right and you neglect to touch up the ends with the primer during installation, that can lead to premature coating failure at that end grain, at that butt joint, that end grain, because of the porosity of the end grain. So let's say that you've gone to all the trouble of having this material pre-primed, or you've pre-primed it yourself in the garage on all sides, and then you've top coated it and you're going to fog coat it in the field after it's installed, and then you go to install it and you overdrive the nails. What you did by overdriving the nails is you've created a pocket where you've compromised the primer. Maybe if you've already top coated it, you've compromised the top coat and the primer. You've created a hole where you're exposing raw wood, and so you're going to have to putty that, and the putty is a dissimilar material to the wood itself. So that's why we recommend that nails be driven flush, not countersunk, because if you countersink them or overdrive them, you do have to take corrective action with putty or with a latex caulk of some sort, and it's going to create a different appearance, and you're going to see spots in the areas where those nails have been overdriven.